Yeah, I just saw it, just came out.
What was your reaction to that? Do you consider
Well, I think it's a good first step. It's a big step. It's a lot of people involved, and I think it's a great first step. You probably know that very fair person, Reuters, and you probably know that you're very good, very, very good. We have a tremendous order. Probably the people around this table have the vast percentage of the $110 billion order from Saudi. We have $450 billion, but on defense we have $110 billion, and I would say almost 100% of it would be sitting right around this table with the great companies. Raytheon's here too, just great companies. Very important. I don't want to tell them. I don't want to look over and tell Marilyn or Dennis, by the way, we're going to take $25 billion worth of sales away from you, because that would mean a lot of jobs. It would mean a lot of everything. And Saudi Arabia has been a great ally. But what happened is unacceptable. We are going to see they've arrested, just for the people at the table, a large number of people having to do with the event that took place in Turkey and the consulate, the Saudi consulate. And it's a big first step. It's only a first step, but it's a big first step.
Do you consider it credible, their explanation for
I do. I mean, it's early. We haven't finished our review or investigation, but I think it's a very important first step, and it happened sooner than people thought it would happen. Okay?
But the notion that there was a fist fight, and as a result of the fist fight, Mr. Khashoggi was killed.
Well, I don't know that that's a notion. I mean, that's a theory that's being thrown out. I don't think anybody said that, but they're saying there was a fight, but that's a theory that was put out. But they're going to be giving us a full report. But they have arrested a large number of people, and good first step. Yeah?
Are you concerned that the leadership there lied to you or other members of the administration?
No, I don't think so at all, because they weren't out front with me in terms of what happened. This is really, we just got this report from them, and you got it along with a lot of other people. No, I think that we'll be talking to them. We'll see what happens. We may have some questions. We do have some questions. And as I told you, I'll be working on this with Congress. Congress is very interested in this one, and we'll be working with Congress. But I would prefer, if there is going to be some form of sanction or what we may determine to do, if anything, because this was a lot of people they're talking about, and people pretty high up. But I would prefer that we don't use as retribution canceling $110 billion worth of work, which means 600,000 jobs. I know it sounds easy and it sounds good, and a lot of people have said, oh, let's just not sell them $110 billion, or I guess you take it a step further, let's not sell them $450 billion, which is the largest order in the history of our country. I went there to get that order. Saudi Arabia was my first stop, and everyone thought that was unusual, but I said, I want you to order a tremendous amount of stuff, right? Everything, your stuff and everybody's stuff. And Wilbur was there. They ordered $450 billion. There's never been anything like it or close. The last thing I want to do was say, we're not going to supply you with that, and therefore we're going to cut. I guess if you add the whole thing up, because just for the military it was 600,000 jobs. So now if you're talking about, that was 110 billion, you're talking about over 1 million jobs. I'd rather keep the 1 million jobs, and I'd rather find another solution. But this was a good first step today. Okay? Anything? Yeah.
Mr. President, Lindsey Graham said he's very skeptical of the Saudi narrative. Do you share some of that skepticism too, and do you intend to speak with the Crown Prince or the King in the next day or two to get their side of the story?
I will, yeah. Before I start making those statements, I'm going to speak to the Crown Prince. And I've spoken to the King. I want to speak with the Crown Prince. And, I think we're getting close to solving a very big problem. And again, remembering the people around this table know it better than anyone. Martha McSally knows it better than anyone. They've been a great ally in the Middle East. We need them as a counterbalance to Iran. And so it's not the simplest solution. It's not the simplest situation to be in. But I think we're doing very well. I think we've come a long way in a short period of time, and it'll get solved. It'll get solved. Okay? Yeah, please.
Sir, do you trust the Saudis to carry out an impartial investigation, given that the Crown Prince is kind of in charge of it, or do you think a third party should be involved?
Well, we have third parties involved. We're involved. We're involved. Turkey is involved. And I wouldn't say they're exactly friends. I would think that Turkey and Saudi Arabia, they're not too friendly. And Turkey's involved, and others are involved, frankly. I mean, people are not happy about what happened. But this is a very big turnover when you look at the number of people that they say were involved. That was a very important thing that they did. And they did it soon. They did it, we thought it was going to be the end of next week. They did it soon, which I think is very smart. But no, I would have to say they have been our ally. We've had great relationships with them. This is a horrible event. It has not gone unnoticed. Okay?
Mr. President, can you speak to the family separations policy, where you're at on that? Arizona's been one of the places where this has been.
Yeah, well, we have Mexico has really stepped up to the plate, which is very nice. I've said to them, look, we've been very nice to Mexico. We have the worst immigration laws in the history of the world. They're incompetent. And in fact, we have a great Democrat here. Maybe we could negotiate some immigration laws while you're here. Huh? You'd be very good. You, I would like to do it with, because you know what you're doing. We have just a horrible situation with the laws. The laws don't allow us to do anything. And then we have the judges that are, let's say, that are giving us decisions that are horrendous. And hopefully they'll be overturned in the Supreme Court, or sooner. But I don't know if you know what's happening, and probably a lot of the people at the table don't know what's happening, because this just happened. But people are coming over from Honduras. They have like 5,000 people, Honduras and Guatemala, El Salvador. And some of these people are hardened criminals, not good people. And they broke through in Guatemala. I said, look, we give you hundreds of millions of dollars, Guatemala, and you're going to stop those people from coming. And they tried, and they broke right through, and they broke through the fences. And Mexico is now really fighting a very tough situation. Mexican soldiers have been hurt, badly hurt, in a couple of cases. But I very much respect the fact that Mexico is willing to do this. But these are some bad people coming through. These aren't babies. These aren't little angels coming into our country and going to, go to work for Boeing and go to work for Raytheon and for Lockheed and do a great job. These are some hardened criminals coming in. And we're not letting them in. We've got enough things right now. We're just not letting it happen. So Mexico, on their southern border, is fighting them right now, literally fighting them. And these people are fighting, and they put all the women and children up front to show you how brave they are. They put all the women and children up front. And it's a terrible situation. And if we had laws, I could sit down and you give me a group from the Democrats, I could sit down and in 1 hour, we would solve catch and release by getting rid of it. You know what catch and release is, Dennis? They walk over. If they put 1 foot on our land, we catch them. We then take the information, because it's impossible to bring them to a court. We have to bring them to a court. So we bring them to a court, but the court's never there because you don't have enough judges. There aren't enough judges in the world. If you've got every judge in the world, you don't have enough judges. So you catch them and you release them. And they go into our society because you're not allowed to release them back into theirs. And that's one of the better ones, okay? It's just a horrible situation. We have the visa lottery, where we take people by lottery from countries. Now, just, from a business standpoint, do you think they're giving us their finest? We get some real beauties out of the lottery. These countries, they're not stupid. They give us people that they don't want, and we have to take them. So I could sit down with Democrats and work this thing out in 1 hour. And we need a wall. We have to have a wall. We're building the wall now, but we should build it very fast. We should build it, frankly, we should build it even higher, because these people, incredible. They can scale them. They can do things you wouldn't believe. But we have a wall. It's going up, but we should be able to build that in 1 year, and we could do it in 1 year. So we'll see what happens. I think this is going to be a real wake-up call for the Democrats and for the public. And for the public. People are very angry about it. Very, very angry. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah.
Mr. President, what evidence do you have that these are hardened criminals trying to come into the United States?
Oh, please, don't be a baby, okay? Take a look, okay? Just take a look. Look at what's happening. Look at the Mexican soldiers that are laying on the ground. Take a look. These are hardened, I didn't say in all cases, but in many cases, these are hardened criminals. These are tough, tough people. And I don't want them in our country. And neither does our country want them in our country. Okay? Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.